Hi and welcome to another frivolous episode. Today I'm going to do something that I really like to watch, which is kind of commenting on releases and announcements of beauty products. I really like that kind of content. I've been part of the beauty news family for many years, and I just like watching that. And sometimes I post a few tidbits on releases on my Instagram, and people come up to me and say, why don't you do a video on that? And I'm kind of like, why don't I? Because I don't have much time, but I decided to give it a whirl, see how it goes. And just so you know, I don't have the time nor the staff to sit down and record this type of video and then edit this type of video every single week. It would be impossible. So if this video goes well, I'm aiming for maybe once a month. We'll see how that goes. So if you like it, let me know in the comments below, leave me a like so that I can gauge how this is going. It's my kind of mini analytics, you know? One little caveat, you'll obviously start noticing that I'm not mentioning some releases that would be from very famous brands that would be very obvious to talk about. I'm not gonna stand on my soapbox here and try to change anybody's mind. I'm just explaining you why. It's because I don't want to talk about those brands. As much as it pains me in some situations, I just don't. I've learned that when I can't when I can't do anything else, I can remove myself from uncomfortable situations. And in this case would be kind of feeling like I would be sort of approving or validating or supporting in a way brands and people behind them that with whom I do not align ethically at all in terms of human rights. I'm not here to judge anybody who does or who doesn't. I know that me not giving them my money will make no dent in their profit margin, and it's okay, but I feel better not doing it, and at the same time not giving them my time and my space in my little tiny platform, if that makes sense. I don't expect you to do the same. I'm just saying what I'm doing. Please don't try to convert me or to show me your ways in the comments. It's useless, it's pointless. I can be stubborn too. So without any further ado, let's jump into my first beauty, new in beauty commentary thing for this first one, because I've been thinking about it for a while. I've been accumulating several products in a folder on Instagram, and basically these products may not be from this week or from last week. They may be a bit older than that, but as a normal, does it really matter that much? I think there is a portion of makeup consumers who actually, when something is released, no matter how hyped it is, you still want to watch reviews, you want to see swatches, you want to see how quickly influencers forget about those products. You may want to put it on a wish list and assess your budget or wait for sales. And so things may stay in the back of your mind for a bit longer than what the beauty industry is trying to make us think, I believe. So here are my impressions on some things that really tickled my curiosity, for the good mostly, and some of them for the bad, in no specific order. The first thing that I have here is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette in Blooming Romance. So it's the pinky version of the brown one that she released late last year, I think. Listen, I'm super interested in shoving my fingers and trying those formulas because they look absolutely delicious. I think it is a more makeup artist driven kind of product than it is for random consumers, just because you have so many colors of the same so many of the same shades. That's what I meant to say. but I really want to try it, you know, but it's so expensive. I'm more drawn to this one though, because it has the pinks, which I can see either on the eyes and on the cheeks as blushes, more so than the brown one, which you can use as bronzer, but you're limited to your shade of bronzer. Whereas with this one, you can apply different colors of blush, you know, and even use it on the lips. I wish she would come out with a 50-50 palette, or may I dare to say she would come out with these products individually in singles, and you can build your own palette so that one could spend less money and still get some products. I don't know. I don't think she's going to do that, but she should, because it would be less wasteful. Speaking of Danessa Myricks, I didn't save that here because it's not as recent, but the Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum, I got it. I mean, she comes out with the kookiest, most interesting releases, in my opinion. Very artistry driven, but things that you see working in a normal person. And this serum, I was super curious because it's for oilier skins and to help with oil control and all of that. So I will do a full face of new makeup in a few days, I hope. And I'll let you know what I think about it. But I was super, super excited with those primers. The other one, the one that looks like just a balmy, luscious, balm to oil kind of thing, looked delightful. And I'd love to know if somebody with dry skin has tried it, because that's what it's geared for. Now, what do I have here? There's a few foundations that look really interesting. One, weirdly enough, is from Urban Decay. It's their Face Bond Waterproof Liquid Foundation with niacinamide, which is in everything nowadays. And I love the packaging. I love a dropper packaging. I think it's the easiest one to take with you and to put in your drawers, you know. And it says 3-in-1 combines foundation, serum, and setting powder. Delivers buildable medium coverage, which is my cup of tea. Enhanced with 3% niacinamide, skincare benefits, whatever. Self-setting powder absorbs sweat and oil, offering natural finish for up to 24 hours. Lightweight for all skin types. I think if this absorbs sweat and oil, people with dry skins will have to do quite some skin prep to use it, but I don't know. Waterproof and sweatproof. I mean, this has my name all over it, especially in the summertime. Sadly, Urban Decay is kind of leaving Sephora in Portugal, so how timely it is for them to have finally an interesting launch, right? Right. The shade range seems quite inclusive. So yeah, I'm really curious about this one. I don't know if it will release soon or anything. I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says revealed. It doesn't say it's been launched. I don't know. 40 shades, vegan, cruelty-free, yada yada. When it comes to the skincare benefits, I mean, I get my skincare benefits from skincare, including sunscreen. We'll talk about it. But mostly, I feel if something that is skincare is a skincare ingredient will provide better performance to a formula, great. If it just comes to disrupt the bleeping formula, then it should get out of the product. So I don't know about it. Niacinamide is fine. It's fine. It's good for oil control. So that's nice. One thing I'm very, very curious about, and I'll talk about it in several different products, is the shade range of the Buttermelt Bronzer by NYX. It's pinky, and I'm seeing it as a range of neutral, sort of greyy bronzers that look like blushes, the kind of blushes that I really gravitate towards, and that have some colors that I don't get very often, like the Armani Neo Nude ones. This kind of reminds me of the kind of muted, dull down, rosy color that has a bit of grey in it. They look so nice. Curious, and they will be affordable. When will they come to Portugal? We'll never know, because NYX in Portugal is ridiculous. Up next, Patrick Tar. has been raved all over the internet with the launch of 3 new blushes and 5 new lip thingies, oils. No, lip glosses, sorry, it's plumping, so probably I won't like it, so I don't care about it. And we don't get Patrick Tar here. But I really wanted to talk about the colour Not Too Much. Is it Not Too Much? Yes, Not Too Much, because again, it's a dusty beige. I'd love to try it. I've never tried anything from Patrick Tar because, again, they don't sell to Portugal, at least without loads of taxes. Next up, available now from NEVAH, the Forget Me Not palette. I must say, I haven't been buying, as a good girl, eye products, eyeshadows, except for one. But this one caught my eye, and it's beautiful. The color story is beautiful for spring. I love my lilacs. I love that glossy glitter, the purplish glossy glitter. I would get those too. You can buy them individually. Maybe I'll go crazy and try those two, because those are the ones that give me the most. The other two, the blue, I'll never use it, and the other one seems a bit too sheer. But first of all, the packaging itself is really nice. You can always buy the singles from NEVAH and make your own palettes, which I personally appreciate. And the matte lilac and the shimmery, glossy looking, at least in the pictures, purple, are absolutely yummy. Yummy. This is available now. Cloud Paint Bronzers by Glossier. Glossier now ships to Portugal without all those crazy taxes. So cool. And I'm kind of curious about these bronzers. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been too much into bronzers for a while. But these kind of caught my attention because I can see them as being something very sheer and you can build them up. So, and I love my Danessa Myricks Contour Bomb, but it is a dewy formula. It has some weft to it, which this seems to be a bit more manageable in terms of not staying sticky on the skin, not having to powder. I may be completely wrong. Does it say the finish? A collection of seamless cheek colors bronzer shades. Okay, inspired by golden hour sunsets, so natural, it's like your skin made it, easy to wear and apply, sheer enough to blend and layer without going overboard. $22 each, I'll guess it would be about 25 euros. It is interesting, the shade range is okay, not olive, there's no olives, there's never olives, I've given up on that. But maybe they're neutral enough so that I can get away with. Maybe I'll give them a try. It's not a promise, it's just a thought, because I'm trying to be a good girl, not go overboard on even things I'm not using that much. Now, this one caught my heart profoundly. And if I could splurge and fly to London right now, I'd have it in my tiny little hands, which is the Cushion de Beauté foundation by Gucci. I hate when they mix English and French. The Cushion de Beauté foundation. But yeah, I love cushion foundations. I've always loved them, but the moment they got trendy, when Lisa Eldridge created the first, I think, some of the first cushion foundations for the Western market, you know, in more than 3 shades, they were super hyped for a while and then they disappeared. And right now we only have access again to, you know, Korean and Japanese beauty brands that make them still in those 3 paper white shades, which I can't wear. I love the finish of a cushion foundation. I don't know what is it. It's not just the applicator, which I must say is one of the most seamless ways to apply foundation on your skin. That smooths everything over, but it's not just the applicator. It's also the goddamn formula of almost every single cushion foundation that I've applied. Although some of them look grey on my face, my skin always looked so smooth. And I've missed the Lancome cushion foundation so much. I've used the heck out of them. And now Gucci is coming up with them. Let me see. Designed to deliver up to 24-hour hydration. The lightweight foundation is enriched with high reflection index oils. Oh no, will I look very oily with this? Black rose oil and mineral powders that create a luminous finish while protecting skin from antioxidants. Shield skin from harmful rays. SPF 20 doesn't matter in a foundation at all. I'll rant about it in a minute. Housed in a pale pink refillable compact that is absolutely stunning. Featuring a lion pattern surrounded by a wreath of flowers finished in gold details. Vintage floral scent. We could so much go without that, Gucci. Peony, freesia, citrus accords, and musky notes. Oh, I love freesia, but on my face, oh, I think fragrance in these kinds of products is always such a risk. But Gucci is very famous for just drenching everything in perfume. It's $51 each, 12 shades, 12 sad shades. It's available on Selfridges. So yeah, again, Gucci and their packaging, I think they have some of the most beautiful packaging. I love vintage packaging. So for me, this hits all the chords because it's refillable, it's a cushion foundation, and it comes in a beautiful compact. Should they come in more shades? Absolutely. It's a disgrace, in my opinion, and yeah, and it's quite expensive. As usual for cushion foundations, you don't get as much product as with a foundation, but if you, and this is my point of view, if you have more than 2 foundations, or even 3, you will not get through them that often. A cushion foundation maybe because you tend to take it with you and reapply, so you'll go through it a bit quicker, but overall, you have enough to rotate and not think that you're going to use it up. If you're using just that product, you will use it up very quickly for sure. But I have to say, this one tickles my fancy quite much. Next up, what do I have here? A shout out to Guerlain, their new terracotta blushes. I love that they come in 2 intensities, and I'm yearning for the top 2 that I'll put in the picture, and the pinkier, lighter ones also look amazing. I will not buy these. I'm just saying they look amazing. I don't need any more blush, but the color curation they came out with looks gorgeous, in my very humble opinion. Very humble opinion, but I will never buy these. The same with these Kaja Dewy Bar Cheek and Lip Multi-Balm, coming to you very soon at Sephora, which it doesn't sell on Portuguese Sephora, but you can get it through Yes Style. These look delicious. I like a stick blush. I like cream blushes. The colors of the packaging at least look really nice, especially that more, again, grayish, purplish rose on the top left, the fig one. But yeah, I'm not going to buy them, but I have to say I appreciate them. Now, let's say a trend has started. NARS is also coming out with a cushion foundation. I don't know what's happening, but it's happening. I'm not mad about it, but they don't say anything about what's going on with it, how many shades or anything. It's part of the NARS with Love collection, which is all, I think, Laguna based. They have the Laguna Ultimate Face Palette, the light reflecting eyeshadow quad. That doesn't seem that light reflecting, but fine. Light reflecting setting powder, light reflecting blush. Seems nice. They're very expensive. Cushion foundation, that's what tickled my fancy again. Power matte lipsticks and Total Seduction eyeshadow sticks with matte finish. Can I see the sticks? Yeah, you can't see the colors that much. Probably lots of browns because it's NARS. It's either peach or brown. It's probably nice. Yeah, the cushion foundation I would be very curious about. But next up, ready for my rant? I said it was coming. So, Supergoop is releasing their Protect Tint Daily Skin Tint SPF 50. An effortless, lightweight and cushiony skin tint meets powerful sun protection with light buildable coverage and natural finish. There are so many wrong things with these statements. This blendable skin tint was created to leave skin looking immediately smooth and even while delivering effective SPF 50 protection. My friends, every product to get their SPF certification has to be tested in exactly the same way, using exactly the same amount. So what is expected of you as a consumer is to pick up whichever product it is, in whichever medium, be it a normal sunscreen or a foundation or a skin tint or, God help us, a blusher, and apply exactly the same amount, which is about at least 1 ml of product just for the face. Are you going to apply 1 ml of this product or any tinted product to your face every day? And reapply, by the way, but let's just say every day. You're not. When was the last time you used up an SPF 30 foundation in 30 days? You didn't, because we apply tinted products and we blend them out and we create flaws in the protective mesh they should create because we're blending them out and shearing out in certain areas. We don't do an even coat all over the face with something that is tinted. I feel these products are always super misleading, and people who already don't like wearing sunscreen feel like they can get away with saying they are already using sunscreen by using something like this. And this in itself alone is not going to give you that SPF 50 if it's not used the same way as any other sunscreen. It's not. And so people will go around having more sun damage because these products exist. So if you're using this, you will have to reapply your sunscreen under it regardless. You have to apply it in the morning under it, and you have to reapply it on top of it, and then use this on top of the sunscreen if you're doing reapplication throughout the day, which you should if you're stepping out when there's sun outside. Take from that what you will, but just know this is not an easy way out. This is not a revolutionary product. This is a product that for me is a cash grab. It's very misleading. It may be a beautiful skin tint, and for that purpose, fine. If it has SPF or not, it's absolutely irrelevant in most cases, 99% of the cases, for tinted products. Especially blushes. I have melasma right here. If I apply an SPF 30 blush on my triangles, I will have an SPF 2 when I'm finished blending out. I don't understand. The misinformation and disinformation that this creates is appalling. Just my opinion. Next up we have, oh, this was interesting because it looks terrible on the pictures. It's the Maybelline Sunkisser blush. I don't mind the packaging being the same as the glosses, it's fine. They're a mass production kind of company. They don't care about the packaging as long as it works, it's fine. But it looks terrible on all the models, except for one shade maybe, City Sizzle. But everything else, the darker skinned models look like they've been applied a white product on their face and then the color on top. It looks like there's white discoloration on their face. This is not inclusive. And I don't know if it's because of the pictures, of the treatment they did to the pictures afterwards, or if it's just a product that is very shimmery and has a very strong white base. This doesn't look good on the darker skin models, and they should be honest enough at least to not apply some of the colors to the darker skin models, and on the other hand, bring other shades that would flatter darker skin models and people overall. Just me? It's Maybelline. They're billionaires. They have the money for it. What is this? Oh, I got this one. Oilier is coming out with a stick foundation. The shade range doesn't look like a fair gradient, although they do have loads of shades. It feels like they're leaning way heavier into the lighter shades, and that's darker skin tones have as many undertones as lighter skin tones, my friends. That's all I have to say. It looks like a very promising foundation stick. I love foundation sticks. It's a thing. And it says Skin Rewind Blurring Foundation and Concealer Complexion Stick for $48. Long wear skincare powered whatever complexion stick that blurs instantly and visibly, firms and smooths over time. Firms. Medium buildable coverage, natural matte finish. This seems like a grab for the Fenty stick, although this says medium buildable and the Fenty one goes up. This is something that would have me interested. I don't know what am I gonna get from all the things that I'm mentioning. I'm just letting you know they exist. Just letting you know that one interests me, the same as the Cushion Foundation from Gucci. Those are the higher bells ringing. This one was I thought you were dead moment. Pure Cosmetics is coming out with the Point Tint Creamy Eyeshadow and Primer, which has very nifty packaging, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of liquid eyeshadows. I have mine from Lisa Eldridge, which I really love. But usually when they start crackling on my eyes. Lisa Eldridge's ones don't, and the Moira one that I have also doesn't, but mostly they do, and they look very dull down when they dry down, when they're metallic. But I just thought the packaging was interesting, and most of all, Pure is still a thing. I saw them on either Beauty Bay or Look Fantastic because I went to look them up. Are they still in Europe? Yes, not with these releases, at least for now. It doesn't say when they're available now at Ulta, which is in the US. When will it come to Europe? We'll never know. Maybe it won't. Moira is coming up with more shadows of the shades of the Love Steady liquid blush. I've never tried the Moira liquid blushes. The cream blushes were very pigmented and a bit hard to blend, although I made them work. I'm curious about these, but I already have my e.l.f. ones, so it's one of those that I wanted to get it to compare it with the e.l.f. blushes, but you know, it will be a waste of money and, you know, product. Maybe not. Maybe they're different. They're very sheer or not. Are they sheer? No, they don't look like they're sheer. No, they look very much like the e.l.f. ones, but these look a bit more patchy, or maybe that's the application on the model. The darker skin model looks like the color is very patchy and very concentrated on the cheek, and the lighter skin model, it looks really nice and well blended. So I don't know. Do you want me to try these Moira blushes? Let me know. No, this I would like to try. You can only get this brand through Beautylish, but you can get it in Europe through Beautylish. It's Glow by Auric, Samantha Ravndal's brand, and their Plush Ritual Ceramide Lip Treatment has now a squeezy tube version, which I very much am interested. I love the one in the pot. I haven't used it. I love the concept of the one in the pots, but it feels a bit more, you know, this one is quicker to apply to the lips. It looks delicious, and people rave about this formula, so I'm very curious. Now, Huda Beauty came up with new glosses called a Faux Filler Ultra Shine Lip Gloss in 6 sexy shades plus 1 crystal clear shine lip gloss. Listen, I don't know, but these look so gloopy on the photos. These look so gloopy, and I've seen a review, I can't remember her name, I'm so sorry, and 2 of the colours looked very patchy. They were starting to collect. The 2 lighter colours were collecting all around. I'm all for something that doesn't have a tingle, because that's what they say, it doesn't have tingly stuff in it, but that makes, because of the formula, makes your lips appear visibly smoother. Because I have so many lines, but this kind of disturbed me. It it looked so gloopy. I don't know, friends. I don't know. I'll check it at Sephora probably. Makeup Forever coming out with how many? 39 new artist eyeshadows. Good for them. Not going to try them, but I'm always here for seeing these big brands come out with more things. And I hope these are singles that you can customize your collection with. Probably they're really good. The swatches look really beautiful. I hope they're not photoshopped. I don't have enough time to see if it's always the same copy paste on the same eye, but they look super buttery. The matte looks super buttery on the eyes. Very tempting. Very tempting. Don't need them, but they're very tempting. Now, this is a launch I actually got into because I got the email. Refa came out with 3 candidates to making up to their collection. They make these brushes in a sort of limited edition that you can get for cheaper. You try them out and then you send them your review, and they kind of work with that and see if they can sell them as is, if they have to adjust them. It's a great concept. And from their concept store, they came out with 3 synthetic bristle brushes. And I have them. I have 2 of them. Just use them today. I have 2 of them here. I love the shapes. This is the concealer one. And I love the shape of their brushes. Love the small handles. I think they're super beautiful and classy. I love the white bristles, although they get so stained. But yeah, these are prototypes and people were able to buy them and test them out. I just got mine today, testing them out today. And yeah, really happy. If you want good brushes, check out Refa and check out their prototype section, see if they have anything, because usually they have those brushes for cheaper and off the cuff. They won't be bad brushes. They may not be exactly as amazing as they then come out with and then later develop, but off the cuff, they will be very good brushes. I haven't been disappointed with any of the brushes that I bought from Refa. So yeah, really chuffed about this launch. They look really beautiful and they feel very nice on the skin. Next up, this is an envy moment because Soap & Glory released a limited edition Fresh as Fig collection. The body wash, body scrub, body lotion, body butter. And this is not going to be available in Europe, let alone in Portugal, where they stayed for, I don't know, 10 seconds. But yeah, I think this is unfair. This isn't fair. Next up, Milk is coming out with something really interesting that may go well or may go really badly. It's the Cloud Glow Foam Primer. They're jumping into the gimmicky products. I'm very curious about the stick blushes. I have to go touch them in store. They're very interesting, and because they are a stain, they really call to me because I have oily skin and I love blushes that stay. It's gimmicky to a point. The stains seem to be a good product regardless of the type of gimmicky formula they came out with. And this is a primer that moisturizes an even skin tone, allowing your natural glow to shine. Applies clear, then creates a breathable and smooth base. I loved Milk Hydro Grip. Is that how it was called? The primer. I only started using e.l.f. because I got the same results for far less money. So they're really good, in my opinion, with primer products. This is a foam. I thought it was a cleanser when I first saw it. I can see the nod to the Pantone color of the year here. I don't know. Maybe it's nice. I don't know. I'll have to try it in Sephora. Now, this has been released. It's the Nomad Cosmetics palette, which is island themed, and it's so green. We can get Nomad in Portugal and in Europe, but you have to pay those extra shipping fees and taxes and all that. But I have 2 Nomad palettes. As we say in Portugal, it's across my throat. as if they're not going down. They're just sticking there. I have 2 palettes from them that I really wanted to try. This is not one of them, just because of the color scheme. I don't do bright greens that often. This is the brightest I go, and it's a chartreusey green. But these kind of very blue-based greens are not my thing. They look amazing. Usually Nomad has great quality for what I've been seeing. Just sad that, not sad, I wouldn't be able to get it. I wouldn't spend the shipping on it, so it's fine. Now, Gourmand Girls has a new palette with Steph's Beauty Stash, a collab called NEVAH, and it's not my cup of tea. I want to try Gourmand Girls. I have them under his eye, but because they sell on Monolith shop here in the EU, which is so nice. But I was more into the purple and yellow color stories that they came out before this one. This is too colorful to me. I can right off the bat see that I would use 2 or 3 shades from this and I wouldn't use anything else. But I'm very curious about Gourmand Girls formula. Never used this. Now this one, I picked it out because we can't get this in Europe, as far as I know. But this color story is something I would love to see in other brands. This is the Esam Harmony No. 3 palette, and this color story called out to me. You have soft pinks, you have peaches, I could go even stronger and bolder with the lilacs, a few blush shades, you know, that blushy pink, and you have yellows and mustards, and a neutral brown, a bit of a warmer brown. I really like this color story. I can see myself trying to recreate with what I already have something similar to this, because I'm really into it. And it's all matte, funnily enough, and I just thought this was very interesting. Esam is a brand a bit like Viseart. It's very expensive. It's more artistry driven. We can't get it in Europe, but this color story really called out to me, and it's different from everything that we've been seeing. I don't know. Sol de Janeiro, which is the name of the brand in Portuguese, Sol de Janeiro in Brazilian Portuguese, is coming out with a new sun care line in their Cheirosa 87 fragrance. That's not the one that I love. The one that I like, I think it's the 67. Could this be misspelled? I don't know. I was hoping it would be the pistachio scent, but 87 is not the one. But they have a body spray, body lotion, body oil, everything with SPF 50, not SPF 50 plus. And it sounds nice. If you get that nice smell that Sol de Janeiro always gives to their products. I really like the sense of several of their lines, which I was very surprised with when Sephora Portugal finally got testers out, because for the longest time you couldn't test out and smell Sol de Janeiro's products. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But yeah, but finally when I got to try them, I really like the classic, the Boom Boom cream. I like the purple one very much. It has a bit of vanilla to it. I love that one. I like those two. But every single scent, I found it pleasing, although not my vibe, but very pleasing. So that was nice. So very good. Sunscreens matches the brand. It makes sense. Biggest launch. Lisa Eldridge recently came out with her mascara, which I have here. Again, it will be on my full face of new makeup soon, but she is now releasing a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer. She calls this the enhancing tint drops. I'm very curious about this one. Very curious about this one, my friends. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Lisa Eldridge's foundation. I love her highlighter, the liquid highlighter. When it comes to her eye products, there's always a chance of good or bad for me. It's always 50-50. When it comes to her complexion products, it's usually a win for me. Calling it tint drops is interesting. No, sorry. Sorry. Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint drops on March 19th. I read it as if it were tint drops. So I'm sorry about that, but it's probably a tinted skin tint like so many other. Her foundation is a medium coverage, which is slightly more geared towards normal to oily skins, I'd say. This one I think will be geared towards more drier skin types. Although I must say, as a person with oily skin, we don't always want high coverage. But I think it's easier to formulate something with high coverage that is good, that works with oily skins, and something with low coverage that is just very sheer and very, you know, moisturizing. So, but we'll see, we'll see. I'll probably get this one. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably get this one. Next up, this one I wanted to mention because I think Monolith, that store that sells some indie brands, is coming out with, it's going to sell Alter Ego finally. And Alter Ego is now releasing a new kind of pastel palette. It's called, what's it called? Gaze into the Dream, maybe? Yeah, and it looks nice. Alter Ego is very well known in the US for making similar color stories to very famous high-end palettes like Anastasia and Natasha Denona and all that, which is very nice because sometimes we want the colors and we can manage to not have such high-end type performance of products and still have a beautiful look at the end of the day. So I'm really curious about this one. I don't know which one this is duping. Is this trying to copy the pastel palette from Natasha Denona? There are things that are not the same. Usually they are bang on with the color stories, but yeah, Monolith I think is starting to sell Alter Ego. We'll see if they have the other products from way back, because that will be interesting. Mention to the packaging, I couldn't care less about the Kardashian-Jenner clan, but the packaging of this perfume called Cosmic Fragrance looks beautiful. It's a floral scent. It's just the packaging that is really beautiful. Beautiful. Had to mention it. Then we're going to have House Labs in Portugal, finally, at the end of this month, at the end of March, I think. They came out with re-released their blushes in smaller packaging, and it looks like it's really dainty, and the difference in price isn't that much from the previous blushes, so you're getting less for more expensive as in price per gram, which shrinkflation. Yeah, Lady Gaga is so poor. She couldn't make a fair price, could she? Anyway, they came out with 6 colors. We're gonna get House Labs here in Portugal. The foundation has me a bit, every foundation has me a bit curious. Everything else, nothing calls to me. This color story is nice. The color selections, but basic but inclusive, I guess. It seems to show up very well on darker skin types or tones. Yeah, and it's kind of a luminous blush, which is nice. I just don't agree with the way she did her pricing. Too Faced is coming out with stick bronzers, joining the Chocolate Soleil family. Say hello to the Chocolate Soleil Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick. Easy Cream Bronzer and Sculpting Stick gives you natural looking second skin warmth and dimension. Again, I'm not into bronzers at this time, but I remember really loving the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced, and now that those incredibly terrible people are not part of the brand anymore, I don't feel bad about buying from Too Faced. I'll swatch them in store. I'll probably not get this because I'm not interested in I have cream bronzers that I'm very satisfied with. So this is not something that I'm very curious. e.l.f. expanded their primer infused blushes and bronzers, 4 new shades for each, which I think is very nice because we need more inclusive colors. Will I say that always cheeky looks again like a muted, maybe not, it's a bit too orange on that paler skin. I don't know how it would look on me. Sometimes they look that kind of greyish pinky color that I really want, and then on my skin they go peach. That's sad. And the bronzers look really nice. Catching Rays looks quite yellow based, which is neat. It is I, and you don't see them very often. One of the most expensive brands on the market, Tom Ford, is coming out with a Shade and Illuminate Soft Radiance Primer, Broad Spectrum SPF 25. A primer. How much? I'm not going to get into that. I selected this because the models, if this is only the primer on the models' faces, something is awry, because the models' faces change color and their dark circles disappear, or going from without to with primer. So this is giving us nothing in terms of what does this primer do. You could show it on a model with just the foundation and then with a primer underneath the foundation. That would give us a more exact notion of the performance of the primer. But they're so rich, they don't care. $115 for a primer. Of course, a hybrid primer formula that seamlessly bridges skincare, as they all do now, and they don't always get both jobs done. Skincare and foundation routines in a single complexion enhancing step, ideal for all skin types. The primer is infused with hyaluronic acid and a blend of moringa oil, passion fruit and ginger extract. It melts seamlessly into the skin for a hydrated, smooth and supple feel. So a moisturizer would do for you if you have a good moisturizer that suits your skin. The primer is formulated with SPF. It is long-wearing, non-drying, sweat-resistant, transfer-resistant, and keeps skin hydrated for up to 12 hours. Yeah, if it's sweat-resistant, this is adding something before you do the rest of your makeup. I don't know, this seems so damn dumb. Although if it's something that expands the wear of your makeup, but they don't talk about the makeup. It just says the primer is long-wearing, non-drying, sweat-resistant and transfer-resistant and keeps skin hydrated for up to 12 hours. This does this for you, and your foundation will be transfer-proof, sweat-resistant, all that. I don't know. It's confusing. It's too expensive to be this confusing. The RMS bronzers, again, there's a pinky one that looks like the type of shade that I would want to get from a plusher. And they're luminous. They look very nice. They are, but on the skin, it doesn't look as rosy. It looks a bit more bronzy. It's always the same, isn't it? Well, this is meant to be a bronzer, so good for people who need the bronzer to act like a bronzer. But yeah, I think this would enhance my texture. I have loads of texture. The Redimension Hydro Bronzer, I really like their blushes within this formula. It combines the nourishing texture of a cream with a light reflecting finish of a powder. Sugar-based gel to powder texture, interesting, which is said to provide a multifaceted 3D finish. Again, this is one of those effortless to apply and build up, which is nice. It goes on sheer and then you build up. That's good. With bronzers, it's very easy to get an orange base. Go into Oompa Loompa land. It will be available in 4 colors, which seems a bit not enough. Just saying. The bronzer is refillable, which is one of the best things from RMS that I think I can point out. More recently, Glam Light is coming out with a Kiss collab. I really am a rock fan, so this is very fun. The palette itself doesn't call to me. I really want to try Glam Light, but I think I want the Garfield palette. It's so cute. It has so many interesting colors, that palette, and it flew under the radar of almost everybody on. It's kind of like, it has a red, a bold red. This one also, but this is also into this kind of grungy state in which we have been for so long. I'm tired of grungy color schemes because they are so heavy and they are really pretty, but I need some lightness, I think. I'm I think having one or two grungy palettes to use as companion palettes, or to do, you know, those deeper looks when you're in the mood, is nice. I think the market is saturated with grungy colors right now. I would much prefer they would have broken this up in two and given us just the red and green rows and another palette with the purples and reds, and then I'll probably get on with it, because I really like purple and I really like red, although this purple looks a bit grayish. So no, not even that. The rest of the products is a huge collection. You have the palette, the lip kit, the mascara duo, Kiss Army mirror, because they always come out with mirrors in the collections, the black and white bases. Bases? What bases? What's the bases? Black and white. Oh, eyeshadow bases. Ooh, or is it for the face? Don't know. To make the kiss. Lenticular motion makeup bag, and the PR box is $120. The full collection is $99 without the PR box, and the palette is $36. Get Glamlight through Monolith. It's always a bit more expensive, but it's not that expensive, and Glamlight is one of the most affordable indie kind of brands, so it's interesting. It's very interesting. And I didn't save that one. What's wrong with me? I thought I had saved it. I'll look it up because I want to talk about Lethal Cosmetics. Lethal Cosmetics has been teasing us with a collab with Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I have a personal, professional connection with the new iteration of the show, and this is because I was involved in that universe a bit deeper than most people. I wasn't a fan of Avatar before this. I became a fan of the animated series because of this, and this is a huge thing for Lethal, and I can't wait to see what they come out with, and it's going to be really fun. But you always have to keep in mind, you'll have the earth, fire, water and air things, so you'll have, if you're taking it literally, you'll have those four colors, you know, the blue, the white, maybe the orange and the brown or green. But I'm really interested in knowing what they are coming out with in terms of that collaboration, because, you know, now I have a soft spot for Avatar, and I'm curious. And Lethal have really good formulas, and again, you can buy singles, make your own palettes, which I really rate. And Colourpop, speaking of collabs, is coming out with a Pokemon collaboration. Probably fun, I don't know. Yeah, probably very bright colors, very bright primary colors. Colourpop actually usually goes quite into a good color story when it comes to inspiration from these collabs, the IP collabs. So I'm curious. Am I going to buy it? No. I'm more when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, it's the Avatar palette for me. Absolutely the Avatar palette for me. But yeah, I've been talking for so long. This is going to be such a long video, but it's going to be easy to edit because I didn't do many boo-boos, but I'll still have to add in all the pictures. So it's going to be fun. And this is it. I'm done. These are all the things that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to look into anything else because there are probably a lot more now. And when this video goes up, it's probably completely... so many things will have been already out for so long. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, again, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. Leave me a like so that I can really gauge how this is going and how am I taking this forward, if it's worth it for me to take the many hours that I'll take editing to get this to you. And yeah, as always, I hope you're all well. If not, I hope everything gets better soon. Thank you for spending your time on me. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.